What up, family? You are back for another video at Datazero. This video is not financial advice, should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into charts, facts, and data and show you what's going on for some of our favorite stock and crypto assets. Let's go ahead and hop into charts and data right now. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, all right, AMC, I talked about a possible slight recovery. Some people were mad in the comments that I said a slight recovery. They said, oh, if it rockets tomorrow, unsubscribe. Well, maybe you should subscribe because exactly what I said was going to happen yesterday is what happened. I even should have left the white dotted lines from yesterday's video, but you guys can just take my word for it or go look for the video yourself. We came down to the 280 support and resistance exactly like I said we would. I noticed yesterday that we were building a floor around that range. So I figured that we would come down and retest that and use that as support. And then I said once we would do that, retest 280 and use that as support, we would push up towards this gap fill, which the gap fill starts at 293. And that's what we started to do. Now, what we want to see for tomorrow, again, because this is a short week. So it's a short week this week. And tomorrow is the last day of trading. So think of Thursday as Friday. So options will basically expire tomorrow. Again, that's why short week can be crazy. And that's why they couldn't have AMC and GME start to run. Things would have got wild. So that's why they had to call Adam Aaron up to stall us and kick the can down the road. Now, you guys can believe what you want. That's my tinfoil theory. I believe that is literally what's going on. Everyone can form their own opinions. That's the great thing about my channel. But back to the technicals, guys. What I think we're going to see here now is hopefully what we want to see, and what I think we're going to see is AMC consolidate above this key level. So we were able to close above the 287. That's very, very good, and that's looking bullish for tomorrow. And what I'm hoping to see is that we actually push up towards this 290. And if we can get past 290, then we should be able to go into the gap fill at 293. And then the gap fill goes all the way to 303. So once we get inside the gap, it will be easy for AMC to move because there's going to be little to no support and resistance in there. So it should be able to push up to the 303 level once it gets to 293. I think this all could happen tomorrow, but that would be an extremely bullish case. They're definitely going to be trying to fight us down. If we go ahead and look at where AMC's max pain is right now, because again that's going to come into play tomorrow, as again it's going to be Friday. Max pain's at $3. So again, having them let it run up to like 299, 298 would be right in the ballpark for them to get it close to max pain without letting the $3 calls expire in the money, and that would help them get the most money off premium. So I could definitely see us having a bullish day tomorrow here for AMC, in my personal opinion, and see a continuation of the recovery, which I do believe we are going to be seeing. If we go ahead and look at GME's max pain, it's sitting at 2350. So just keep that in mind that they're going to want to try to get GME around 2349, 2348. We often look at max pain on Fridays. Again, we're looking at it on Thursdays because it's the last trading day, because market makers will try to sometimes push it to that price so they can make the most money off of premium. So again, max play can come into play. It has come into play, but it's not the end all be all. And there's other things that you do need to look at as far as technical wise. Now, you guys can see here right now we had a pretty strong close here for GameStop as well. Kind of consolidated here. Again, both of the algorithms are on the same, so that's why AMC pulling back and consolidating now is kind of affecting GME. GME, we really want to see it push up into this gap fill. GME has a huge gap fill that if it gets into, we should be able to definitely get some decent momentum. Gap fill starts at 2450 and goes all the way to 2847. Basically, what we want to see here from GME is confirming $24, because there's $24, $24.50, and then we can go into that gap fill. So those are the last levels of support and resistance that we really need to break and stay above and confirm to really start to push up. So that's why they're fighting hard, trying to short us down below the $24. You guys can see right now at time of recording, they have 2.7 million short shares for GME, and they did acquire those, and they have been shorting from today and yesterday as well. So I'm expecting them to use these shares tomorrow as well. 2.7 million at time of recording. That can change as early as tomorrow morning. And for AMC, 2.4 million short shares available to short. Now I want to point your attention to over here, guys. some things with liquidity could be happening in the background. Liquidity could be drying up. Shares availability could be low. Getting low. One way that we know about this for sure is the cost to borrow, but some other things we can look at are FTDs, days to cover, and I want to show you a few things going on here real quick with AMC and GME. So you guys can see that the days to cover here for AMC is sitting at 17.35 days. That means if shorts were forced to cover right now, it would literally take 17.35 days for them to cover all them shares, and that's saying that there are not shares available, okay? So that means liquidity potentially is drying up in the background, and this is another reason, again, a little bit of tinfoil, but why I think they had to have that attack, because if we did get that rally that I was expecting, that would have put shorts in a terrible position, especially since they've been shorting so hard, increasing the short interest to 14.5%. They would have got squeezed potentially, and that would have been absolutely devastating, as 17.35 days to cover show that there are not that many shares if they tried to exit. Now, GameStop days to cover is also very high as well, 11.26, but not as high as AMC. But GameStop does have way more short interest than AMC at time of recording, 19.46%. I also want to point out some things here going on with the FTDs, okay? So these often come around when we see these large price movements to the upside. You can see here when GameStop went from $9 to $64, we had FTDs really tick up here, up into like the 500K, 550K region. Well, look what we have here right now. FTDs going as high as 1.4 million. FTDs will have to get covered, and that could provide buying pressure, especially if they start to move down the road. Now, this is down the road. FTDs obviously can be pushed down the road the same way that we've seen before. Things get put on the threshold security list, and then it's on the threshold security list for so many days, and then they're not able to short, and it's a long process. But FTDs do need to be covered. So FTDs are starting to come in here for GME, showing that potentially liquidity is drying up in the background. Again, just a little bit more signs. We can't always see what's going on in the background, but a little bit more signs that maybe the shorts aren't as strong and steady as we think that they are. Maybe they're getting desperate. It looks like they're getting desperate. They're shorting a stock that is clearly doing better, two stocks that are clearly doing better. GameStop sitting on a huge pile of cash, has Bitcoin, fundamentals improving for both stocks, and they are still shorting these stocks, trying to keep these prices down. So if we do see prices go up, shorts could definitely be in a tricky position. Now, again, as far as technicals, just wrapping up for AMC and GME, I wanted to point that out to you. We also have a little bit of news as well. A few insiders here are buying GME stock. Again, I don't think it's a coincidence that smart money is buying GME stock, but you guys can see that James G bought 5,575 shares of GameStop stock. So again, more smart money, more insiders buying. I believe they know that GME stock is a long-term hold and is going to be bullish. So this is good. Also, I love to see people that are actually in the company buying stocks with their own money. That shows goodwill, and it shows that they believe in the company, and that's also a good outward signal to other investors. Now, again, as far as technicals are concerned, we want to see GameStop get back to $24. I think that will happen. We'll probably come down and use $23.84 as support and then push up towards $23.91. If we can break above $23.91, we'll probably go straight for $24. And if we can hold $24, that's when we can go to $24.50 where the gap fill starts. So be ready for that. We want to see if we can have a bullish day tomorrow. I think we're going to see more recovery, but it might only be like a 1 to 2% day. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I hope we see a nice pop to the upside, but it would be good just to see a 1 to 2% day and not a drawdown for both of the meme stocks. So again, this is what I'm looking at for AMC and GME. AMC, I think we're going to hold 287 and push up toward 290. If we break and hold 290, then we can go to the 293 gap fill, which could take us all the way to 303. AMC possibly could do this tomorrow, but it would definitely need GME to start moving up as well. They would need to do this simultaneously. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC and GME and the meme stocks. Thank you guys for watching. Let's go ahead and move into the SPY section and show you guys what's going on for SPY and all of you SPY traders and dealers. So let's go ahead and show you guys what's going on here. So SPY did hit my price target of 620, ladies and gentlemen, 620. I gave you guys this in the weekly outlook and prediction and on the Discord. The Discord is where I call out exclusive signals, technicals, informations, give exclusive buy and sell signals. If you want to get involved in that, hit me up on my email, DataZeroOfficial5, linked in the comment section description. It's $100 for a lifetime invite. But from here, where do I think we're going? I'm going to let you guys know. RSI is starting to get frothy on some of these bigger time frames. We're going deep into the overbought territory as of right now, so I want to make that clear. SPY is going to have to hold this 620.48 in order to continue to the upside. I think what we're going to see here in the morning is a pop to the upside, and then we have a few data drops which are going to determine everything. Now, if I'm wrong about how these data drops come out, then my prediction is going to be wrong, but I think the data drop is going to come out. That unemployment is going to be slightly higher, and that's going to be bearish for the market. Now, if it comes out the same, that still could be a little bit of a bearish overtone, but with everything else we're seeing, we probably would go bullish. And if it comes out less, so if you see unemployment come out and it's less than 4.2 and it went lower, that's going to be extremely bullish for the market, and it's going to rally. That's like basically calls a go, not financial advice in my personal opinion. We also have non-farm payrolls as well and ISM services PMI, but the big thing for tomorrow is going to be that unemployment number right at 8:30 in the morning a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you check out for the volatility then. I think that's when we're going to see a drop down. If SPY loses 619.60, it will absolutely dump. This is a major level of support. If it loses, it will absolutely dump. I think we're going to come down to about 619.90 or 620.16. Find support around there and then potentially push back up to try to retest this 620.50. SPY's next major resistance, if it is going to go higher, it would have to break above 620.77, holding that as support, and then it could push higher if it was able to break above that level and hold that as support. So this is what I'm looking at for SPY. We did hit my overall price target, and we are having the green week that I did predict we will have. Make sure after tomorrow you tune in for the weekly outlook and prediction. That way you guys can get all of your information. But again, the biggest things going on are just the tariffs are coming up soon, but that's macro. So we don't have to worry about that right now. Obviously, the ceasefire in the Middle East. But I'm more concerned with what's going to happen once these tariffs do kick in, because last time the tariffs kicked in, the market absolutely capitulated. You guys can see this is what happened last time they kicked in until we got the pause. So if they do go into place, I think we could see something similar where the market really starts to draw down and starts to fill all of these gaps that it made on this unsustainable rally to the upside. So this is what I'm looking at here, especially if the fundamental data continues to come out bad, like unemployment coming out higher. GDP just came out negative, so it's looking like the economy is contracting. The debt is spiraling. Things are not looking good. I'm not a doom and gloomer. I'm how to profit off of this. How can I make money off of this, and how can I prepare my family? That's why I want to know and actually know what's going on and not ignore the fundamental data. This is what I'm looking at for SPY in the overall market. Remember that unemployment data drop tomorrow is going to be determining the bearish or bullish overtone for tomorrow, and it's going to be a major deal. Again, if SPY is able to break above 620.77 and hold that, you could see a movement to the upside. If SPY loses 619.60, you could see a big dump down. I think we're going to see a push up in the morning and then dropping down, finding support around 619.90 or 620.16, and then start to move back up towards 620 from there. Let's go ahead and move into Bitcoin and crypto, and then we're going to be wrapping up this video. So Bitcoin in a very peculiar spot right now, kind of testing me, making me think I might be wrong, and I would love to be wrong about this, but I think Bitcoin is going to top out and track with the fractal. It seems like all of this is part of the fractal. We're actually tracking candle for candle right now. If I zoom in, you guys can see this. So what I think we do is reject from these levels here, and I think we're actually going to see Bitcoin dip down towards 92K and then find support, and then we'll hit my 115, 125 price target, and that's when we're doing that, that's when altcoin season will come. So basically one more dip down and then we'll get a little bit of a decent rally, but overall Bitcoin is basically just ranging, building a floor above like 90 to 100K. After this, you know, we could go into a little bit of bear market, maybe drop down. I'll talk about that when the time comes. I do have more of the fractal to show. So if this fractal continues to track, we will have the Bitcoin mapped out still. But I don't see any reason why Bitcoin won't hit my overall price targets. Now, if Bitcoin were to break above and hold 109.5K and use that level of support, you could see a push up towards 111. And if it broke 111, then watch out. It literally could go into price discovery mode and really start to blast off. But before any of that happens, it would have to hold 109.5. And that's what we're dealing with now. What the fractal says is we're going to reject from that and move down. Now, I want you guys to see just how green the altcoin market is, because Bitcoin dominance, again, is so high that it literally controls the whole entire market. When Bitcoin pumps, altcoins are going to pump. So Bitcoin's pumping 3%, so altcoins are going to pump like 6, 10%. So again, it's like the moves are exacerbated. ADA is up like 9%. ETH hit like 2.6. It's at 259 right now. So again, when Bitcoin does start to move up, you're going to see your favorite altcoins move up. So if Bitcoin does go to 115, 125, you're going to see your altcoins go crazy. Now, there's something that could potentially be coming up here with BTC news-wise, as I've been trying to document it here on Twitter/X. Make sure you guys follow me there. But a lot of countries and a lot of companies are starting to buy BTC. Corporate holdings of BTC are surging. Companies are buying BTC. Countries are buying BTC. Individuals are buying BTC. And all of these things are going to lead to a price shock, because there's only so many Bitcoin. And a lot of these people buy off of the market, or they buy like over-the-counter deals or under-the-counter deals and stuff like that. That won't necessarily affect the price immediately, but it still affects the circulating supply and the overall supply. So that's why Bitcoin often will consolidate. You'll see Bitcoin consolidate for a whole long time. For example, like here or here, we're basically flat, and then make big moves all at once. One big move. You see like one big move, consolidate, one big move. Then you kind of range, big move down. It's because of these supply shocks. So again, Bitcoin, I don't think we're going to blast off. But if we did break above 109.5 and then start to move up towards that 111, you could see something 111, 112. But I think we are going to be rejecting down. But overall, the point of me telling you all of this is that I really feel like fiat is coming to an end. The US dollar, the Dixie, is literally weakening. You guys can see that it's going lower and lower and lower. That's part of the reason why Bitcoin is going higher right now, is because the Dixie is going down. As the dollar devaluates, things that are measured in the dollars, like Bitcoin, are going to go up in price. I think fiat is done, and I don't want to alarm anyone, but I think fiat is done. The debt crisis is spiraling, and I don't think people really, and I would have to do a live stream to dig deep into it, but I don't think people really have all of those things connected. I think fiat is done, and we are going to move into a digital blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto-based society, as crazy as that sounds. Like 5-10 years from now, everything's going to be blockchain, and crypto will be the future. And Bitcoin is one of the main ways to store and maintain wealth, because it has a fixed cap of 21 million coins, cannot be diluted. It's self-custody. It's proof of work. It's the most sound money. It's easy to move. And this is why I believe strongly in BTC. Now, my second biggest holding is XRP. And then I would have like Ethereum and Cardano ADA as my third and fourth. But me personally, I think it's very, very important to hold BTC, in my personal opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, this was my daily outlook and prediction for stocks and crypto. This video is not financial advice. If you want to support, all you have to do is hit that like, leave a comment down below, subscribe, share the video. Those are all ways to help me out personally, because it boosts me out into the algorithm, and it lets the YouTube know that this is what people want to watch. So I truly appreciate that. Engaging with the channel and stuff like that. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. If you want to support in a different way, you can send a super chat or check out the merch store or check out my Discord. Discord literally pays for itself. You get in, get a few trades, you'll make your money back. It's an investment. Merch store, all sales come to me and the channel and help support the channel, so I truly appreciate that. And of course, you guys know super chats and gift bits and stuff like that help grow the channel and come to me as well. So I truly appreciate you guys, because you guys always show love and always show support in such a crazy way. Thank you, DZ fam, for helping me get this far, because I wouldn't have made it this far without you. And every time I say that, I truly mean that. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out, fam.